Welcome to UXL, where you can learn new skills anytime and anywhere. Visit uxl.com to explore our full course selection. This lesson is part of a larger course. Check the video description below for a link to the full course where you can enroll. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. For your convenience, the course cover displayed on your screen provides the complete course title and lesson title. Let's proceed with the lesson. Lesson Market Equilibrium. Finding the balance. Market equilibrium represents a state in which market supply and demand balance each other, resulting in stable prices. Understanding market equilibrium is crucial in microeconomics, as it is the point where the quantity of goods supplied equals the quantity of goods demanded. This concept forms the backbone of market operations and helps in comprehending how various factors influence market dynamics. The law of demand states that, ceteris paribus, an increase in the price of a good results in a decrease in the quantity demanded, and vice versa. Conversely, the law of supply indicates that an increase in the price of a good will result in an increase in the quantity supplied, all else being equal. These fundamental principles are represented graphically by the demand and supply curves. The demand curve typically slopes downward from left to right, reflecting the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. In contrast, the supply curve slopes upward from left to right, indicating a direct relationship between price and quantity supplied. The intersection of the demand and supply curves represents the market equilibrium price and quantity. At equilibrium, the market clears, meaning there is no surplus or shortage of goods. A surplus occurs when the quantity supplied exceeds the quantity demanded at a given price, leading to downward pressure on prices. Conversely, a shortage happens when the quantity demanded exceeds the quantity supplied, exerting upward pressure on prices. These forces drive the market toward the equilibrium point. Market equilibrium can be represented algebraically. Suppose the demand function is QD equals A minus BP, and the supply function is QS equals C plus DP, where QD is the quantity demanded, QS is the quantity supplied, P is the price, and A, B, C, and D are constants. At equilibrium, QD equals QS. Solving the equations A minus BP equals C plus DP for P provides the equilibrium price. Once the equilibrium price is determined, it can be substituted back into either the demand or supply equation to find the equilibrium quantity. Several factors can cause shifts in the demand and supply curves, thus affecting the market equilibrium. For instance, changes in consumer preferences, income levels, prices of related goods, and expectations can shift the demand curve. Similarly, variations in production technology, input prices, taxes, and subsidies can alter the supply curve. A rightward shift in the demand curve, ceteris paribus, leads to a higher equilibrium price and quantity, whereas a leftward shift results in a lower equilibrium price and quantity. On the supply side, a rightward shift reduces the equilibrium price and increases the quantity, while a leftward shift raises the equilibrium price and decreases the quantity. Real-world examples illustrate these concepts effectively. Consider the market for electric vehicles. An increase in consumer preference for environmentally friendly products shifts the demand curve for EVs to the right. If the supply remains constant, the equilibrium price and quantity of EVs will increase. On the supply side, advancements in battery technology that lower production costs shift the supply curve to the right. This shift decreases the equilibrium price and increases the quantity of EVs in the market, assuming demand remains constant. Market equilibrium is not static. It is subject to continuous changes influenced by external factors. For instance, government policies such as taxes, subsidies, and regulations can impact market equilibrium. A subsidy on electric vehicles would effectively lower their price, prompting an increase in demand and shifting the demand curve to the right. This results in a higher equilibrium quantity and potentially higher equilibrium price, depending on the elasticity of supply. Elasticity plays a crucial role in determining the extent of changes in equilibrium price and quantity. Price elasticity of demand measures the responsiveness of quantity demanded to changes in price. If demand is elastic, a small change in price leads to a significant change in quantity demanded. Conversely, if demand is inelastic, quantity demanded is relatively unresponsive to price changes. Similarly, price elasticity of supply measures the responsiveness of quantity supplied to price changes. Elastic supply implies that producers can adjust production levels easily in response to price changes, while inelastic supply indicates limited responsiveness. To illustrate, consider the market for insulin. Insulin is a life-saving medication with inelastic demand, as people with diabetes need it regardless of price changes. Consequently, even significant price hikes result in only minor reductions in quantity demanded. Conversely, the supply of insulin is relatively elastic in the long run, as pharmaceutical companies can increase production in response to higher prices. Therefore, changes in equilibrium price and quantity in the insulin market are more influenced by supply-side factors. Market equilibrium can also be analyzed in the context of minimum wage laws. A minimum wage set above the equilibrium wage creates a surplus of labor, as the quantity of labor supplied exceeds the quantity demanded at that price level. This results in unemployment, as employers hire fewer workers at the higher wage. Conversely, a minimum wage below the equilibrium wage has no effect on the labor market, as the market clearing wage prevails. In international trade, market equilibrium concepts explain the effects of tariffs and quotas. A tariff imposed on imported goods raises their price, leading to a decrease in the quantity demanded and potentially shifting the demand curve for domestically produced substitutes to the right. This results in a new equilibrium with higher prices and quantities for domestic goods. Similarly, a quota limits the quantity of imported goods, effectively shifting the supply curve to the left and raising the equilibrium price while reducing the equilibrium quantity. The concept of market equilibrium extends beyond traditional goods and services to financial markets. In the stock market, equilibrium is reached when the quantity of shares demanded equals the quantity supplied at a given price. Factors such as company performance, investor expectations, and macroeconomic conditions influence the demand and supply of stocks, causing shifts in equilibrium prices and quantities. Understanding market equilibrium is essential for policymakers, businesses, and consumers. Policymakers rely on equilibrium analysis to design effective interventions, such as taxes, subsidies, and price controls, to achieve desired economic outcomes. Businesses use equilibrium concepts to make strategic decisions regarding pricing, production, and market entry. Consumers benefit from understanding how market dynamics influence prices and availability of goods and services. Market equilibrium represents a foundational concept in microeconomics, encapsulating the interaction of supply and demand forces to determine prices and quantities in a market. It is a dynamic state influenced by various factors, including consumer preferences, production technology, government policies, and international trade. By analyzing market equilibrium, one can gain valuable insights into the functioning of markets and the impact of external factors on economic outcomes. This concludes the lesson. We trust you found this video informative and engaging. To enroll in the complete course, please use the link provided in the description below. At UExcel, we are committed to your learning journey. Each course offers a certificate of completion, online support, and downloadable resource files to enhance your experience. If you found our content valuable, we invite you to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to supporting your continued pursuit of knowledge.